So as per the new schedule, on Friday nights for me or Saturdays for you guys, we are going to do content reacts, which essentially is going to amount to us just hanging out, watching some viral video that's happening together while I enjoy my snacks. We eat healthy around here. And today on the docket, we have... I have to stop being so late to the party, but this one has been going crazy. 5.2 million views in the last week. We are going to watch Jeff Nippard's new video, what every body fat percentage actually looks like, 50 to 5%. I'm actually really excited to watch this one, so we're just gonna honestly just jump right into it.
Do you know your body fat percentage? Take a guess.
I'm gonna guess 21.
17.
15?
Most people don't know their body fat percentage. Some people think they're way leaner than they are.
Ooh, that was a little bit harder than I thought.
Others are harder on themselves than they should be and find out they're closer to their goals than they realize.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna guess where this video starts that most people are gonna guess probably that they're lower than what they actually are.
And if you look up what different body fat percentages look like online, you won't find much help because if the numbers aren't completely made up, they're taken from less accurate measurements like calipers or handheld devices. And that confusion matters because your body fat percentage not only shapes how you look, it can also impact your health, sleep, performance, and how you feel about yourself. So in this video, I'm gonna take you through the full range from 50% body fat all the way down to 5%. Using real-life people that I measured myself. We'll not only see what each level looks like, but we'll also hear about what it feels.
Wait, isn't? That's the guy. Okay, the guy on the right, the guy that's closest to me on the screen here, I think. Yeah, the guy's right on top of me. He was just like in the controversy online where he was like giving shit to this other guy, and then Joey Swole got into it, and I guess he was like trying to pose in this posing room, and then he got really like angry, and there was like this whole like roid rage thing that everybody was talking about. That's him. That's crazy.
Feels like to live at each level. This is Joe. He's a 36-year-old dad. On bioelectrical impedance, or BIA, Joe came in at 50.7% body fat, and on DEXA, he was 45.3%.
Like the BIA is, that's when you step on a scale, and then it'll send electrics but like through your body and essentially measure how long it takes to get through. And then that's how they sort of come up with those hypotheses of you are X amount of body fat. Some of them are better than others, but like the Hume scales, that's what that would be. Or when you go to like to the in-body places where you hold on to the things there and then you just hold them on for a while and you wait. That's the same concept.
And this is Alexis. She's a 19-year-old university student, and she said that day to day, she feels pretty good.
What's your energy like in the gym? Like, do you feel good?
In the gym, honestly, yeah. I love going to the gym.
Alexis measured at 47.2% on BIA and 48.2% on DEXA. And she told me that while she feels fine and doesn't struggle much in terms of day-to-day activities, for her long-term health, she does want to get down to a lower but still sustainable body fat percentage. Not everyone at this level had the same goal though. This is Daniel, and he had one of the coolest motivations for losing weight that I've ever heard.
I want to skydive.
You want to skydive?
Yeah, I want to do this.
Okay, that's a new one. I have not heard that before.
The weight limit for skydiving is 220 to 240 pounds, so over the next year, I'm gonna help him get there.
I'm not doing it with you though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of heights. I will film you though.
I feel like there's a joke here. Scared of heights and the fact he's like 5'2". There's something there. I'm not gonna touch it.
So for long-term weight loss, I think having a purpose that speaks to you is crucial, especially if you want to lose a lot of weight, which can feel overwhelming. You need to have a good reason for why you want to do it. And because weight loss often takes longer than people realize, a lot of people...
See, that's so interesting to look because if you look at these three bodies, these are three very, very different looking bodies. The two on the edges are, I would assume, heavier, much heavier than the guy in the middle, but the guy in the middle is also the highest body fat percentage of each of all three of these guys. It's interesting because I guess now I've seen so many different bodies or people come up to me and send me their first check-in pictures, and I can generally tell now almost what they're going to look like after they've lost a significant amount of weight, just because I've seen it so much. For the average person, you would probably look at this and not guess these type of numbers, but visually, I could tell quite easily that homie in the middle was going to have the highest body fat percentage just because of where the fat was stored. And that's a super interesting concept. Maybe we'll have to do a longer video on that one day.
And what I found most interesting was that they assumed that if they could just get down to the leanest level, like single digits body fat, their exhaustion, energy crashes, and trouble sleeping would all go away.
Before they even go there. There's like this fine point in health before it gets better, before it gets a hell of a lot worse. And I mean, homie on the right is like super lean right now. Like the fact that he's just standing there and there's all those veins showing. Obviously, he's very, very lean. And I mean, he looks like he's about to step on stage pretty soon here. Again, I'm just guessing. But I feel like once you pass the threshold of like, for some it's 12, for some it's 10. Me, it was definitely around like that 10% mark. Once you pass that threshold at 10%, everything starts getting exponentially worse, where your exhaustion, your brain power goes out the window, and everything just starts, you get sloppy. There's like this fine point where health becomes so like not at the forefront of things as you lose weight to an extreme point like that.
I'm pretty sure I would feel a lot better like this, right?
But interestingly,
See the
as you'll
reaction?
see, if you go too far in the other direction, these exact same issues come back around again. In fact, if you get super lean, it can get really bad. And a little later, I'll show you just how bad things can get at the very leanest level. Because
No, that's the clip. That's the clip I was telling you about.
unfortunately, an incident occurred between two subjects after filming that might have had something to do with mood changes that can come with extreme levels of leanness.
Okay, well, we're gonna have a problem then?
First, before we see what 40% looks like, I want you to take a guess
That's
at what
funny.
body fat percentage the average man is and what body fat percentage the average woman is in the United States.
Okay, write it down in the comments. What do you guys think that is the average body fat percentage for men and women? I don't have the Jeopardy music, so I would get copyrighted. So just write it. I'm gonna guess the average American is now overweight. I wouldn't say obese just yet. We're probably not too far off. I'm gonna say, I want to say like in between like 28 and 35, somewhere around there is where the average man. For women, I don't even have a guess, so we're just keep going.
And he measured in at 40.7% body fat on BIA and 37.2% on DEXA. And keep in mind, these numbers are very accurate. DEXA is often considered the reference standard for body composition in exercise science research and in clinical practice. And when combined with BIA, what I'm going to show you has tighter control and higher precision than most published exercise science studies, and it's going to be way more reliable than the online body fat charts that are out there, which use way less accurate tools and sometimes pure eyeballing, which can be
You know who's calling out Greg Doucette right there. You know it.
way
Oh
off,
my
especially
God.
if there are differences in lighting. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what each level looks like under the exact same lighting.
I'm dead.
So compared to 50%, you can see that at 40%, the waistline is down, the overall physique is leaner, but overall, body fat distribution is still similar. And this is Katie. She's a nurse who just became a personal trainer herself, and she measured in at 37.6% on DEXA and 40.3% on BIA. 40% body fat on women can look very different from person to person, depending on how much muscle they have and their individual body shape. And if we compare a male at 40% to a female at 40%, you can see that the female looks
That is drastic. Crazy. It also makes sense though. When you think, like, let's think bodybuilding at the peak lowest of body fats, where you'll have a man that will be like, let's say 5% on stage. Women generally don't get to that low ever, because there's so much happening, like breast tissue and other aspects of the body. Reproductive system is very different, of course. So for women, like this is the perfect example to show that, like, I mean, this is probably not too far off from like the average American woman versus this is obviously a much more overweight man. So crazy.
relatively leaner. That's because women store about 10 to 12% more essential fat than men, so 40% on a woman
There
is
it is.
visually more like 28 to 30% on a man. Men also tend to store more body fat around their stomach, lower back, and neck, while women tend to store more body fat around their hips and thighs. This is in part because estrogen promotes fat storage in the lower body, while testosterone promotes more visceral fat storage around the organs and midsection. That's a trend that'll continue at every body fat level.
Yeah, I wonder if the visceral fat storage in men has to do with life expectancy. Because I know that life expectancy is different from men to women. And if the visceral fat storage due to testosterone is higher, that would make men live shorter lives, which interesting.
And if earlier you guessed that the average body fat percentage for an American woman is around 40%, you'd be pretty much right. This is Septarshi, and he was 30.1% on BIA and 33.3% on DEXA. And Greg measured in at 32.5% on the DEXA, so almost exactly the same. 30% is what some people would call the dad bod look. Assuming you lift weights, you should see some visible muscle outline in your arms and legs, but you're not quite lean enough to see a whole lot of detail or separation. Based on 2017 to 2018 data, the average American male is about 27% body fat.
I said 28
so if you're a
to
man
30
with 30% body fat,
Okay.
you'd land right here. About 40% of men have a body fat percentage higher than you, and about 60% of men have a body fat percentage at or below you. And 30% on a woman is leaner than most people realize.
I just feel like we hear 15, 10, like we hear such low numbers all the time. I think someone would look at you and be like, oh, you look amazing, but they wouldn't think like 28%.
If you're 30% body fat as a female, suddenly only about 10% of women are leaner than you, and about 90% of women have a higher body fat. We're really starting to lean out. Based on my time on the internet, most people seem to think that a male at 20% body fat looks something like this. But
No.
it actually looks like this.
Yeah.
This is Jay, and he came in
So as you can see here, 20%-ish, that's when you start seeing like the very basic outline of abs. So keep note of that. That's very interesting, actually.
We all have different genetic set ranges where our bodies are most comfortable. 20% body fat for me actually feels too high. I felt sluggish and bloated. For me, my body's a lot more comfortable and performs better in the 10 to 15 zone. But that comfortable set range is highly genetic, and it's a little different for everyone. For some men, it's a bit higher, let's say 20 to 25%. If they try to get below 20%, they start to feel hungry, depleted, and low energy. In that case, I think maintaining a slightly higher level at around 20% is actually smart, so you avoid constant yo-yo dieting.
I think, because I'm about to go on a bit of a cut again for the next like month and a half here, 2 months-ish, into my next surgery. And right now, I feel great. Hunger cues, perfectly controlled. I eat normally. I don't have trouble staying on my diet. This for me right now at 240 pounds, 245-ish, depending on the morning, is my golden fucking spot. So I almost want to get a DEXA scan now to see what I'm at versus, because I'm probably going to lose like, let's say 10 pounds in the next month and a half because I'm really good at cutting weight, obviously, as we all know from being here. And then get it done again to see how I feel, because I'm assuming that by surgery date, I'm going to kind of feel like shit, to be honest, because I'm going to cut pretty hard here.
But given that 20% is where a lot of pro-female athletes sit, I was a little surprised to see that some women still thought 20% was a bit too high.
No, like I
Oh.
want to look
Yeah.
cut. Like
Yeah.
I want to look like, oh my God, like she's jacked.
Yes, you do. You actually do. I don't know if you know that or not.
Look at her shoulders and arms. And this is like, she is jacked. And I think there's something to show here. Like, the more jacked you become, the crazier your body starts to look, the more self-critical you become, and the more you, like, start wishing you were better. And it's such a toxic loop.
Less than 1% of the female population is leaner than you. Actually, only
Wow.
about 2% of women in the United States have a body fat percentage
crazy.
under 25. So unless you're genetically very lean, or you want to maintain a certain level of leanness for your sport, this is about as lean as most women can realistically sustain and hold while still feeling healthy and performing optimally. Now we're down to 15% body fat. That said, if you have a genetically higher body fat set range, you may notice hunger creeping in at around this level. So if you're trying to maintain 15% body fat, you will need to pay attention to your food environment.
Okay, call me crazy. I think that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now, around that 15 mark. I mean, again, this is just what I'm guessing. Because in terms of like outlines and like I have some striations in my chest when I do a side flex or something, the abs are visible even though they're still inflamed as shit from the surgery. But I think that's where I'm sitting at. What do you guys think?
There are a lot of processed, delicious foods around the house. You'll probably quickly snack your way up to 20%. Your gym performance and strength should be really good at this level, and most people shouldn't have to suffer too much to get there. But you might be surprised. If you're coming from a higher level of body fat, hitting 15% might take some serious dedication. Regardless, 15% is leaner than you think. Only about 2% of American men are below this level of body fat. And for
Crazy.
women, 15% looks like this. Meet Vanessa. She's currently training for a high rocks competition.
I was about to. I swear. I swear. I was about to say that she looks like a runner.
which is a hybrid event that combines running and various exercise stations.
This is usually around this level of body fat that female competitors can actually start losing their cycles completely. I know Martina. She's been on my channel. She was the girl that I told like I'm gonna do a bodybuilding show to. That blonde girl. She lost her cycle for it was like over a year because of her getting this like well she got like she got a lot leaner than this, but just to show you it gets very dangerous for women to get this lean.
Your hunger hormones can increase, energy can drop off, and you may lose your menstrual cycle. Staying this lean for years can
I'm
also
not
cause
crazy.
bone mineral loss and gut issues.
How's your hormonal health? It's sensitive. I don't want to put extra stress on my system.
Okay.
Otherwise, my period will get kind of wonky or like my sleep will get kind of messed up.
12%. This is Jimmy, and he came in at 12.1% on DEXA, 13.8% on BIA. Most men won't just sit here without some active dietary restriction. In fact, a recent data report of over 9,000 American men revealed just how many people are actually below 12%
It's gonna
body
be like
fat.
5.
How many out of the 9,000 do you think were under 12% body fat?
200. Maybe 500.
500?
500.
I'm saying like
9,000 people, 400 people.
5.
One person.
Oh, that's
What?
One person.
I knew it. Hey, yo, that's our boy. That's Luke. That's the guy that in our video got his pro card. That's so sick. What's up, Luke? I can't believe that was close with 5. That's insane.
Is when you compare it to the general population, right?
For women, 12% is virtually unheard of outside of bodybuilding stages.
she's looking proud of
At this level, you're just about down to only having essential body fat left. Performance-enhancing drugs are often needed to get this lean, and even then, strength and energy in the gym will almost always take a hit. Chances are you'll be constantly thinking about food. She's a pro bodybuilder, hoping to get back on stage soon, and she came in at
I didn't want to guess. I don't like guessing about people's natty status. It's not my realm. Not yet. I'm not there yet. I just don't. It's not something that affects me. And I mean, just the viralization of her voice was pretty much there. But yeah, you don't like natural females to look like this is very rare. But I'm gonna put a caveat on there. And this is like again just from my own experience, from what I've seen so far. But and this is actually something that Chris Wilson talked about just recently, where there has been like some of his like black female clients had higher like testosterone ranges in between their test to estrogen ratios, and that has caused some black women to fail drug tests from the OCB and have to get retested to then see that they were like fine and they were natural. So there's a cool thing happening there. I don't understand the science behind. I just wanted to put a note on that.
On our journey from 50%, we've got a couple levels of leanness left to go, and it gets pretty intense. For men at around 10% body fat, I've got 3 different examples. Nicholas came in at 10.5%, Ali at
That's the other guy from the video. That's the other guy that he was like talking shit to.
9.0, and my latest DEXA also came back at 9.0% body fat. At this level, your abs will be clearly defined, and you should have visible separation in all the heads of any given muscle. In all 3 of us, you can see a clear outline of the
shredded.
different heads of the triceps and noticeable striations through our chest and shoulders. At 9 or 10%, your midsection will be pretty ripped, and there shouldn't be any noticeable pouches of fat anywhere on your back or legs. So unless you have really good genetics, you most likely won't just end up at 10% body fat.
If you found my channel through weight loss, I can confidently say that for most viewers that are watching this video right now, sorry y'all, that ain't us. That is not us.
AJ is a professional bikini competitor, and her DEXA scan came back at
You can see it in, okay, easy way to tell if people are getting really, really, really lean, but look at her cheeks. The amount, like, how it, like, digs in. It's not just her cheeks, it's actually her eyes as well. Like, cheeks will go first, eyes will go last. This is a sign of somebody that's, like, super, super lean.
I have never seen this in my life. 9.9.
But this level of body fat doesn't come without serious side
That is
effects.
It
dangerous.
feels terrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad. If I brush my hair, a lot of hair comes out. I haven't had a period in quite a long time. My last period might have been May. I know it's going to take a while to get it back.
Gia is also a national level competitor, and she came back even leaner, 9.1% body fat. Absolutely mind-blowing. And food cravings at this level are usually absolutely out of control.
I went out for sushi. I think I had like 4 or 5 rolls of sushi and 5 guys plus fries, plus eat that entire day. Your body is metabolizing it so quickly. But the more you eat, the more your body wants food. So
Given the extreme health risks of going any lower, this is the leanest level I'll be showing for women, but there's still...
One thing that's important to know is when you get to those extreme lean points, your body enters these states where it will not feel satiated. It does not matter what you do. You will not feel satiated. And that's how like Larry Wheels gained, was it like 50 pounds in like a day after a show? You eat and you do not feel full. You still feel as hungry. It is not safe. It is dangerous, and it can lead to severe like bloating, water retention, kidney issues, cardiac issues. It's dangerous.
8% body fat is what I would consider
that's your boy.
shredded.
That's
This
Luke.
is Luke. He's a professional natural physique competitor 2 weeks out from his competition, and his body fat came back at 8.4% on DEXA, 9.5% on BIA. Your testosterone usually starts to drop off simply because your body is sending every signal to just go find some food.
Survive.
No time for reproduction, you need to eat. No time for sleep, you need to eat.
If you could have one cheat meal right now, what would it be?
Sushi.
I didn't even have to think.
He was ready.
Now, while there may be a few extreme genetic outliers who can get here without any serious discomfort, the vast majority of men will only be able to sustain this level of leanness for a short period of time. But it can get tricky after the diet is over. That's because your body is constantly screaming at you to eat more, and so
That's
a lot
what I
of
was
men
saying
will
before.
quickly rebound in weight,
whoop.
oftentimes shooting over where they were before they even started.
And this is only with single digits. I mean, shit, how many of us have lost like fucking 20 pounds and gained 40 back, right? Like this is just like our brain that's like entering this period of lack of equilibrium. Once it loses that, all it wants it back.
Over. But there's still one level left to go.
People don't realize to get to 5%, that's like a next level kind of
I
dieting.
personally think it's impossible for most men without enhancement. It's very hard because it drives the muscle up, and so you get the percentage down.
Okay, so we started at 50%, and now we're all the way down to 5% body fat. This is Lachlan.
Oh, he's peeled.
He's 3 weeks out from a classic physique competition, and he came in at 5.5% on DEXA and 3.1% on BIA.
5.5. Ooh, shredded, man. I told you. That's awesome.
This is an extreme, borderline dangerous level of leanness.
The little tasks in life become the most challenging. Getting out of your car to walk into work, it's like you gotta sit there and think, oh shit, I gotta go do this.
You know what the irony is? We both go through the same problems, but we both have different goals and journeys in life.
And this is where it gets crazy, because I do think this level of leanness, especially combined with certain special supplements, can cause people to act in ways they no longer recognize. After filming this video, Lachlan ran into Ollie, our 9% subject, at the gym and acted completely out of line.
My studio is for posing and for other stuff, not to be on a phone call. Why can't you go down there? You don't need the lighting for this. Go somewhere else. This is the posing room.
This is not, dude. The posing is downstairs. I'm not trying to be a
Get
bitch.
your skinny before I snap. Okay, so what?
Can you talk to me like a brother?
No, you're not brother, dude.
Why are you being so?
This isn't a live streaming spot, dude. If you want to go do that, you can do that outside. You can do that over there. I need the lighting to pose.
The incident ended up going viral on social media.
Yes, it did.
To be honest, my initial reaction was to think it was staged. What are the chances that 2 subjects from this video just happen to run into each other and get in an altercation the very next week? Honestly, if you're trying to get healthier, I think rather than fixating on a specific body fat percentage, you should focus on how you're moving, how you're training, how you're eating, and how you're feeling. What matters isn't the perfect percentage. It's finding a range where you can live a healthy and balanced life. Body fat percentage is just one piece of the puzzle. It doesn't define your worth, and it doesn't tell the whole story of your health. The real goal is to find a balance that makes you feel strong, healthy, and confident.
That was a pretty cool video. I'll be honest, I was actually really nervous about like doing this to to a Nippard video because I didn't want to have like the entire science community attacking me if I said some dumb shit. But that was a really interesting video. I don't know. What do you guys like? Should we keep doing these like watch alongs? But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think that your body fat percentage or is there anything that you saw in this video that you're like, no, that can't be right? Because like, I mean, look, I know that Greg Doucette just came out with a video that he's just like he called it like the DEXA scam instead of the DEXA scan, talking about Jeff Nippard's video, which I have not seen yet, and I might have to watch that. Is that the next video that I should do on Sunday? Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's change the world together.